Einen wunderschönen guten Tag. This video is about modal verbs and how to use them when talking about school rules. So this video is looking at a couple of modal verbs, but more importantly, it is looking at GCSE style reading questions and how modal verbs could actually come up in those as well. So based on what you've learned in the lesson, on the left-hand side you see some modal verbs in German. On the right-hand side you see them in English. You may want to pause the video right now and match them up, because I will reveal the answers in just a second. Right, man darf means one is allowed to or you are allowed to. Man muss, one has to or you have to. Man soll, one is supposed to or you are supposed to. And man kann means one can or you can. Before I move on to the next task, I actually want to find out, are the verb endings for the modal verbs exactly the same as for regular verbs, or do I have to learn something else about those? So again, you may want to think about it for yourself, and then I will reveal the answers in a minute. So if you pause the video and then think about looking at the two sentences on the bottom of the screen. Right, Nummer 1. Ich muss jeden Tag Hausaufgaben machen. So I must do homework every day. Und mein Bruder und meine Schwester müssen für ihre GCSE-Prüfungen lernen. So my brother and my sister must revise for their GCSE exams. You are absolutely right in identifying that the modal verbs, they are irregular, at least the one on the screen right here, because you will have noticed there is an umlaut, so Ü is over here. If it was regular, it wouldn't be. So, one of the modal verbs we looked at on the previous slide, sollen, is a regular verb, so it follows exactly the same pattern. However, the three that you can see on the screen here, they do not follow the regular verb pattern in the present tense. So again, you may want to pause the video to find out what those words mean in English. I will reveal the answers in just a second. Also, you may wish to make some notes on a separate sheet, because those modal verbs, they are very useful for GCSE German exams. Okay, so müssen means to have to. So ich muss means I must. Können means to be able to. Ich kann means I can or I am able to. And dürfen, to be allowed to. Ich darf means I am allowed to. Now we want to use them in a GCSE style reading question as well. And you can see one on the screen. And this is actually a very, very typical task that tends to come up in GCSE exams. So you will be given a set of words and you need to match those words up with the text. How would I attempt this task? So these would be my strategies. First, I would have a look at the different words on the side, and then I would try and figure out, especially in this case because they are modal verbs, I would have a look at the different verb endings, because they will be quite important depending on what subject is used in the set of sentences. And then also I will have noticed that there are different verbs, different words as well, and namely they are not verbs, they are adjectives. So in this case I know that erlaubt is allowed, verboten is forbidden. But what would I do if I actually don't know what they mean? I wouldn't panic, because I would use some of my skills how to identify grammatical structures as well in the text. So sometimes you may notice in the sentence there's already a modal verb or an infinitive at the end or another verb. You don't need another verb. So in this case, you know, right, those two words, they will have to be used. Now, how do I identify which of those words I would use? I would try and figure out, watch out for keywords in the sentence, and then figure out what I think would match the best. Now, you may want to pause the video because I will reveal the answers, so try your best, best of luck, and I will reveal the answers for this task in just a second. Okay, so here are the answers. So in meiner Schule muss man Schuluniform tragen. So in my school, you must wear school uniform. Man darf also keine eigenen Klamotten tragen. So you are not allowed to wear your own clothes. Die Schule beginnt um 8:30 Uhr, so school begins at 7:30. Und wir müssen immer pünktlich sein, and we always have to be on time, because otherwise you will be punished. Meine Mutter hat uns gesagt, dass mein Bruder und ich nie zu spät kommen sollen, weil das sehr unhöflich ist. So my mother told us that my brother and I we're never supposed to be late because that is that's impolite. Unhöflich means impolite. In der Schule dürfen Schüler is plural, it means students, dürfen Schüler auch kein Kaugummi kauen. They're not allowed to chew chewing gum. Und Handys sind auch verboten. Now we're going to look at one last reading task. So this is also a typical GCSE style question, and this time you have open questions. So you've been given a text, you've been given questions, you have to write in English what you think the answer is going to be. So again, you may wish to pause the video. I will reveal the answers in just a second. Best of luck. Okay, so number 1 is what are you not allowed to do during the lesson? And you had to name 3 aspects. The correct answer would be you're not allowed to whisper, to chat, and to sleep. And the evidence can be found right here, and it's highlighted on the screen. Flüstern means to whisper, plaudern means to chat, and schlafen means to sleep. What do you have to do at school? So you have to raise the hand to be allowed to talk. And again, highlighted on the screen, you see the evidence. It says, therefore, we always have to put our hand up. Right, all I can say now after knowing that you've watched this video and being very sure that you did very, very well and such a fantastic job, you can now call yourself Held der Modalverben, which is your own hero, or being the hero of using modal verbs. Very well done, and I hope you found this video useful. Tschüss!